While I was late with the last trailer I took a look at, I'll try and jump on this one a little bit faster. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That is the title, right? Yes. Fury of the Gods. I haven't seen the trailer yet. We're going to do a nice little reaction. But before that, I guess I'll reiterate, because I don't think I ever did like a proper review of the original Shazam. I didn't watch it when it was in the theaters. By the time I got to it, it felt late, and I had not yet adopted my mentality of just reviewing nearly everything I watch, which is kind of what I do now. But my overall thoughts were, it's fine. I mean, it was a nice, lighter toned counterbalance to a lot of what was going on in the DC movies at the time. But as a film overall, I was like, yeah, it was fine. It was fun. Didn't really think too much about it after that. But let's check out the new trailer. See what we got. Okay.
Are at war. We will annihilate everything. Champions of this realm can do nothing to stop us.
You are very menacing. I just want you to know that.
I mean, don't mess with Helen Mirren. I'm down with seeing her as a villain, but God, aren't they doing like all goddesses villains?
And then everybody got superpowers. All right, here's the situation.
Oh, really?
The daughters of Atlas.
Sorry, the Sog Joyce.
Us. Children stole the power of the gods. You ripped it from our father's core.
Okay, I feel like maybe I should be writing all this down.
Give us the powers, child.
Your world will not survive this.
They're going.
Powers? Come get them.
They're going bigger scale for sure. Whoa.
All right. We have one job to do. Save the world.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
Wait, did they split him from Billy?
Take my powers back. You gave them to me so you could take them back, right?
I spent millennia searching for a worthy champion. You know exactly what must be done.
Billy, what are you doing? I have to do this.
We end this now!
Yeah, we do.
I think they're showing way too much of this. I don't know what I think about that. And I don't necessarily mean I'm going to leap. Like, I'm probably going to be pointing out things that seem like off to me. Like this, I don't look at this and go, well, that looks like crap. It doesn't. It looks fine. And honestly, the first one looked fine. And it was fine. So first of all, very dark. Honestly, and this is going to be weird coming from me who likes Marvel a lot, or, you know, until the last couple of years. That felt more along the lines of a Marvel trailer where the situation was dire, but here's a couple of jokes. Here's a couple of quips. Yeah. And I don't necessarily have a notion of being fed up with Marvel for doing that the way some people appear to be at this point. But I do feel like I definitely don't want DC movies to become that. And the thing is, even though I'm not about to sing the everlasting praises of the original Shazam, it was largely dealing with humor inherent to its concept. Like, somebody that young in a body like that. What kind of ridiculous stuff would you do? That's what they did. That's banking on the actual built-in comedy as opposed to adding jokes to an otherwise straightforward situation. because again, I don't have an actual problem with doing that. There are actually some times when I would prefer it. But just seeing, again, as the trailer's showing us, and as I always have to point out, yes, maybe the movie will not be exactly as the trailer sold, but I am not going to go into this assuming a trailer is lying. I'm going to assume it's being honest about what it's depicting. If that turns out not to be true, then I'll deal with that later. But I don't go in assuming a trailer is lying to me. So assuming that it is representative of the film, this is darker, this is more serious. The humor seems less ingrained to the situation, which makes it feel more superfluous and more Marvel quip-esque, which, again, isn't a thing I inherently dislike, but feels like a little bit possibly of a loss of identity versus the first one, where one of the things I would say about it is it knew what it was. This, I don't know. Also, like, there's a weird disconnect in my head that so like, I laughed at the song, at the Drake song, started from the bottom, now we're here. And like, I don't really like Drake. That's neither here nor there, but it's a little odd to me that the big climax of the first movie was the whole Foster family all getting these powers, and that they're using a song in this where the second part of that line, which they also kept repeating, it's not like they only used the second part once, started from the bottom, now the whole team's here. They kept repeating that over and over again too, yet there was so little time given to anyone other than the villains or Billy. That's odd, because that song choice, and particularly using that line over and over again, that feels like something you do to reemphasize that it's not just him now, it's all of them. But everything about this trailer was putting all this emphasis on just him. And especially it's showing stuff that maybe it's not from the climactic scene, but certainly felt like it was. And it's all about him on his own. Are they not going to take advantage properly of the fact that there's now a team of them? Are they gonna remove all their abilities or somehow capture them so that it effectively still works the same as last time? And maybe they bust out at the end and all team up and yay, and we just are repeating. We're chasing one of the highlights of the last movie rather than building on it and doing something new. Maybe not. I could be 100% wrong, and I kind of hope that I am, because that did not do much for me. Like, at all. I'm really, if and when I get around to this, which I don't think I'm going to rush out into theaters to see it, but if and when I eventually get around to it, like I did with the first one, I'm really going to be curious as to what they do with Mary Marvel, because one would think and hope that if they've got the villains being goddesses, that she would be a really interesting thread to pull. Just not only because of her sort of placement amongst the group, but like traditionally, the original writing of Mary Marvel as a character was that her powers weren't derived from the same ones as Billy's. Her powers were derived from goddesses, or they were supposed to be. One of them actually was a god, but the amount of research that they did when they first created the character was insufficient. But the idea was that she actually pulled her powers from a different source. And that's something that's been dropped over time. But I'm saying, like, you've got a lot of real potential to do a lot with her. If you're using these villains and the main highlight she gets in this is having her powers blasted away and then having to be caught while she falls. Which I suppose is better than the alternative, because the alternative is to take the cues from more modern depictions of her and just have her turn frickin' evil 5 times. If they do that, all right, I put that on the record right now. If they do that with her, if this becomes the temptation of Mary Marvel, if they even start to go that way, I'm gonna be real ticked. Because evil Mary Marvel has never worked. It's always been awful. And they've done it a lot. So Sorry, that's kind of a comic-specific bit of anger that came out of me on that. But yeah, like any movie, it has the potential to rise above its trailer, to be more than it looked like, to have a whole bunch of stuff that I like that just isn't the stuff they decided to put into the trailer. Who knows? It's kind of the inverse of the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves one that I did last time, because that one, like, I enjoyed most of what I saw, and it's distinctly possible when I go to see that, all the best stuff and all the stuff that interests me was in the trailer, and I'm going to be bored for everything in between. And maybe it'll be the opposite for this. Maybe they just showed all the stuff that I'll be the most about, but all the stuff in between will be great and do all sorts of stuff that I wouldn't think of, and it's clever and it's funny as all this, but, you know, just judging by what I saw, I don't know. What did you think about this trailer? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon's what pays the bills. I was going to do this as my living. Even if you can't help me out there, like, share, subscribe. Also help quite a bit, actually. But don't worry too much about it. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so just come on back next time you need a break. Well, it's Patreon supporter shout-out time, folks. So thank you to Robin Moore, Zubin Lutfulla, Tarak, the thing that goes doink in the anime, Oliver B., Angus Bjarnason, Melinda Walters, Emu Delkey, Leotha Boyd, Toy Lowly, Becky Spark, Vernabilax the Poodle, Zach, Tracy Scrabbit, General Contact Unit Problem Child, Angry Gasperl, Tim Price, Adam R.D.L. Taylor, Shayla Gourlay, and Brendan LaRose. Thanks so much for your help. You can get your name read out too. Check out the rewards in the Patreon. Is that what they should do? Should they check the Patreon?